Joining me now is Rupert Digby, and we're going to be spending the next few minutes discussing some of the great work that he's been doing and the rest of the 2E2 team, working with one of the world's leading global mobile operators over the last 7 years on their call centre consolidation, their IP telephony and their interactive voice response systems, or otherwise known as IVR. Rupert, hi, thank you for joining me. My first question to you, when this particular customer came to you 7 years ago, what were some of the problems that they were facing?
So the customer was responding to changes in the marketplace. What had happened was that the online self-service for their customer care function was really starting to ramp up. And that meant that there was less need for the call centre side of the capacity that they had there.
So they had too much capacity?
Too much capacity, and not only too much capacity, but also slightly the wrong kind of capacity. It was getting old hat. It was needing a good technology refresh.
Okay. So what were some of the problems that they were noticing as a result of these things?
So it was really coming through in their cost line. They were having to sort of keep maintenance payments going on an enormous 10,000 line system, and it really was underutilised, and therefore it was inefficient.
So when 2E2 was brought in all those years ago, what were some of the recommendations that you made, some of the things they needed to do?
Well, they needed to, instead of having an installation at every telephone exchange site, they needed to consolidate them onto 4 central ones, and so that's the sort of new architecture that we proposed, and indeed they took up. Okay,
so through a combination of IVR and IP telephony, you were able to take them forward. Why do you think that what were some of the benefits of implementing those two technologies?
Well, the benefits really were cost reduction primarily, but also the flexibility that comes with the ability to offshore part of the call centre estate. And so they were able to do that through IP telephony, particularly with a full functionality. So that meant also that some of the call centre agents could actually operate from home when they needed to as well.
Okay.
And so lots of flexibility.
Okay. Now, whilst it's been a 7-year project to date, you're able to take me through then exactly what 2E2 has delivered over that period of time.
Well, certainly 6,000 lines of IVR equipment in 4 sites, a test lab, and then the migration of 150 services from the old equipment to the new.
What do you mean by services?
So the services would be telephone numbers that customers would dial in order to get through to the network operator.
Okay.
And this might be the customer care line, where they would go through the IVR and select key 1, key 2, key 3 for different kinds of queries.
Sure.
And get through to appropriately skilled operator sets.
Okay.
It might also be network services like 1471, where you can dial back the last number that called you.
Okay.
999. It'll go through to your local police emergency service.
Okay. What about some of the e-commerce services as well, with like the pay-as-you-go side of things too?
Well, certainly one of the very major services there is self-service of top-ups for pay-as-you-go, so that you dial the short code, come through to the IVR and go through the necessary menus, and you can top up your phone using your credit card there and then.
Okay. And the other thing we were talking about before we started this interview, I believe that they've actually even packaged up what you've done, and they're able to sell it on to some of their customers.
Indeed, the mobile networks are able to virtualize their services and package them for mobile virtual network operators, who can pretend to be mobile operators, but they're really just rebadging what's already there, but it's carefully repackaged and then can be sold on as a product.
Rupert, thank you so much for your time today. Hope you enjoyed that insight, and there'll be more next time.